look like?
I think the calm and quiet guys are the scariest guys sometimes, and so it takes a lot for me to get there. But I have fire. But my responsibility is to stay calm and to exemplify steady and consistent for our group. The game is emotional, but as I grow and as I mature and as I learn, the more calm I can stay, the more steady I can stay and consistent. Our group feels that, and it gives them confidence. But there'll be times in practice where where I have to call guys up, and that's a part of it.
Coach, kind of following up on my last question, you mentioned Zion being another one of the guys that can lead this group. When he's not able to be on the floor right now or still recovering or away from the team at any point, how can he embrace that leadership role even though he's not in some of these workouts?
Well, he'll be at practice every day. He'll be with his teammates. That smile you see, that's who he is. He's a fun kid to be around, fun guy to be around, and he'll be in the huddles. He'll still be talking. He'll be doing all the things that he would normally do. It'll just take him a little while to actually be on the court and impact from that way. But his leadership responsibilities won't change. I mean, he'll still have a lot of say-so, and we want him to. We want to hear him. But it'll really be with supporting his teammates. And so we look forward to that happening as we progress through preseason.
Oh, over here again, Willie, sorry about that. How is your relationship with Zion? Obviously, we've talked a lot about being in Nashville with the other guys. He was one of the guys who wasn't there. I mean, how much face-to-face time have you had with him, texting, calling? How has maybe your relationship grown just since you got the job?
Yeah, I mean, we're building one, and I think that's the key. Is I'm not gonna say we have a great relationship. I mean, we're starting to build, and that's important for me. Is getting to know who he is, Zion getting to know who I am, and over time, I know our relationship will be great. It'll be strong, and that's key for our team to be successful. And with all of our guys, we're all building. I'm new here. I'm gonna make mistakes along the way. I'm well aware of that, but I'm comfortable with the people that we have in place, the coaching staff, our players, but we're all building a relationship together. And so as we move forward and progress, I look forward to knowing all of our guys, all of our group more and more, because I think we can push the limits when we understand who we are, and we have way more in common than we don't.
Willie, I know you talked just a little bit about it, but can you maybe go into a little bit more detail of just what exactly Zion will be able to do when you guys start training camp this week, and what are his exact limitations, and how much do you expect him to be able to do this week?
It's a progression for him. Right now, Hydra works and doing a lot of pool workouts and treadmill work in the pool. He will get on the floor at some point, but it's a progression, and we don't want to rush this. And so I don't want to throw something out there that's not, and you guys hold me to it. So the timeline is that we're hopeful that he can start the season, and so until then, it's just a progression with him and the medical team.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Do you like what they did with Zion offensively last year, running the offense through him? And then a second question, do you feel like you have the pieces in-house now to be a good defensive team? So
to answer your first question, yes. I think putting the ball in Zion's hands is an added weapon for our group. There'll be times where we do that. There'll be some times where the ball is in other guys' hands to make plays. So I think the beauty in it is, to your point, we have a group that can play at a high level defensively. And then offensively, we've added guys that we can put the ball in a number of guys' hands, which should be a problem for anybody guarding us. We'll see Zion with the ball, Brandon, we'll see Devontae. Looking forward to seeing Nikhil continue to take another step. And so we're all excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, and Griff mentioned when he talked just now about how long it was for Phoenix not getting to the playoffs before that finals run last year. And there was a lot of noise around Devin Booker and what his future may look like before that. and now Zion's dealing with that to a different degree, I guess. What are your feelings in general about young players having to deal with all of that noise and having to navigate through that as they kind of figuring themselves out?
You know, it's a part of life. I mean, everybody in this room is dealing with something, right? We all trying to navigate some parts of life, whether it's noise, family, whatever it is. And so, you know, that's where we all come in. Griff, Trajan, myself, guys that have done it, coaching staff. We're here to help in that way, help them navigate the difficult circumstances that sometimes the NBA can bring. But these guys are here for a reason. They know how to handle a lot of this stuff. They know how to be balanced. And, you know, it's the reason that they have this platform to be able to play the game at a high level and be balanced in doing it.
Hey, Willie, up front. I know it's two different teams, but do you see any similar characteristics in this team and Phoenix as far as just the makeup, the mental makeup of the team?
Yeah, I do. We got a lot of tough guys that are hungry to make the next step. When I got to Phoenix, that's what I saw immediately, and that's what I see here in New Orleans. And along with that, our city, this city is, and our fans are hungry for it too. It's going to take a lot of work to get there, as Griff alluded to, but I believe we can. It's one of the reasons that I wanted to go to Phoenix and take that challenge, you know, as an assistant, is to learn what that looks like. And so now having some of that experience, I see similarities in our group. So it excites me. I'm looking forward to getting on the floor with the guys tomorrow, and I know everybody is, and really trying to make the next step here in New Orleans.
What were your early impressions of Nikhil? I know he was at Summer League. Obviously, he wasn't playing, but he was there and doing some workouts. But what have kind of been your early impressions of him so far?
Just love him. I mean, he loves being in the gym. He's at everything, no matter what you have, bowling, ping pong. Like, he's just he's a fun kid to be around, and can just flat out score the ball. And so I'm excited to get him in the fold, put him in situations for him to be successful. I think he's ready to make another step this season. So, like I said, it's going to be a lot of work for us, but just a good dude, good kid, love him. I know Griff said stop calling them kids, but it's hard to as you get older.
Yeah, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Just could you give us your kind of specific view on the three main line guys, Jonas, Zion, and Ingram, how their traits and skill sets complement one another, and what you kind of envision those guys being together, what you kind of envision as the advantage that'll give you?
Yeah, great question. I'll start with Jonas. I think he brings a different dynamic than we had last season. He has the capability of still setting screens, posting up, but he can shoot the ball from three as well. And so we'll need him to space the floor at times. But more importantly, it's just his grit and his toughness that he brings to the team. He's another guy that has a lot to prove, wants to prove. And so, you go to Zion, you guys have seen him for the last couple of years, the ball in his hands, just dominant athlete, can run the floor, can score in multiple ways. I think the growth for him is he's going to get fouled, so just going to the free throw line and being confident about that. And then Brandon, we look forward to him once again playing in multiple positions, having the ball in his hands, probably getting some post-up action for him, but just putting the guys in environments where we want to make it tough on defenses to guard us. And so those three guys will be key in what we do.
I think we have some questions via Zoom.
Yeah, I just wanted to, your guards are obviously on a ton of either experience or, a lot of known starters there in that group right now. What are you kind of looking for in these next couple of weeks to see from your guard rotation, and what is kind of going to define, who those guys are?
Well, I do think we have some experience. We brought in Garrett Temple, 12, 13 years in the NBA. Devontae has been a starter. Nikhil can do both, can start to come off the bench. And so we do have some experience. I get what you mean, though, maybe not compared to the Lakers. But, I think it's going to be competitive. I think there's some positions open. There's opportunity for some of our guards to come in and earn an opportunity, earn a spot. And that's what I want to see in camp. I want to see guys get after it.
Next we'll go to Shamil.
Hey, Coach Willie. Last year, one of the strengths for the Pelicans was rebounding, particularly on the offensive glass. Jonas obviously provided a lot there, but sometimes the trade-off comes up in terms of transition defense. Just wanted to know your thoughts if that's going to continue being a strength of the team, and how are you going to balance the two with transition defense and offensive rebounding?
Yeah, great question. That definitely needs to continue to be a strength of our team. I think we have to be better at getting back in transition. So those are things that we'll address going into camp. But offensive rebounding is key, and we've done some studies on rebounding in general, and it directly leads to winning when you can rebound the ball at a high level, offensively and defensively. And it's harder for teams to run on you when you're a really good offensive rebounding team. So we're going to stress some of those things, but like you said, it's going to be imperative for us, when we don't get the rebound, to get back, locate our man in transition, and then, find most dangerous from there.
Okay, Chris.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you having us on this morning. You got here as a player on the heels of a hurricane rebuild that was capped a few years later with the Super Bowl. Coming into the city this week, seeing all the blue talk, can you talk about how this team can really come together and provide that kind of moment that's bigger than basketball, so to speak, and how you'll see that within this team, same way we did for that summer league team, because undefeated, you had Najee Marshall just going crazy on the bench like that, using them throughout the season.
Yeah, I think, this is a unique opportunity for us. Once again, like you said, we're facing adversity, recovering from a hurricane. I think it's an opportunity for our guys, for our organization, to continue to come together and just find ways to help people. That's what this is really about. And then you move to the basketball floor. It's another platform to bring joy into people's lives. And so it's going to be imperative for us to put a team on the floor that exemplifies this city and represents this city well. And I think we said it already, but this is a resilient city. These are resilient people, and we want to have a resilient team.
And lastly, David.
Hi, Coach. Fellow Detroit native here, Detroit stand-up. First, welcome to the city, but also there are three main areas that I thought that kind of indicative of where the Pelicans have suffered over the last few years. Number one, having that home court advantage, not being over 500 at home, losing against the Eastern Conference, and then last but not least, those the end of game situations for the last couple of years. How do you directly impact that with the emphasis on increasing player IQ, but also developing that toughness that goes along with winning at home and taking it onto the road against lesser opponents?
Yeah, all things that we just need to work on. Specifically for us is the end of game stuff. The last 5 or 6 minutes of games will be important. And so we want to put our guys in those situations in practice where, number one, we learn what environments we want to play in. I think that's important. What are we running? What are defenses doing against us? And then on the flip side, not just watching us, but other teams, what works defensively? Is it switching everything? Is it blitz and pick and rolls? And so I think it's an area we can really make some major steps, but we'll continue to reevaluate it. And going into camp, those are things that we'll definitely focus on. And I think if we can move the needle in that area, we can definitely win more games.
Two more questions, Will and Les.
Just from what you've seen from BI, I guess, what are you expecting this year as far as what he can do on the court and off the court as a leader?
Yeah, on the court, I mean, you guys have seen him. He had an all-star year a couple years ago. I think he's more than capable of doing the same this season. He's put in a tremendous amount of time in the weight room, just working on his game. It's something that you don't have to look for him. He's going to be in the gym. And so I just like what I see from him, his work ethic, his demeanor, his hunger to want to get better. I think that adds to the guts of our team, and guys follow that. If they see him in the gym, they're in the gym. So he's setting the tone early for how we want to do things here in New Orleans. And then, you know, it's up to me, it's up to our group to try to put him in positions to be really successful on the floor. Off the court, same thing. I said it earlier, he's just a team dude. Loves people, loves being around his team. That smile is who he is. Quiet demeanor, but he's a team guy, and I love to see that from him.
You know, Willie, Les with Crescent City Sports. Getting back to utilizing Zion on offense, he's such a distinctive talent. Can you talk to how you balance wanting to be creative to take advantage of his unusual skill sets and yet keeping a narrow focus so you don't try and do too much with him?
No, great. That's great. Great question. I think with that, you just try to be really simple. What works, you stick with it. If it's not working, you can't be hesitant to make adjustments and get rid of it. And so with Zion, that's how we'll look at things. We'll look at what situations work really well for him and try to continue to put him in those environments. Teams will make adjustments, and we'll make adjustments as a staff to try to have a couple different ways in which we can get him the ball offensively.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you, Coach. We'll
Thank
have
you,
players
guys.
coming through in about 5 minutes.